double check these 55. Okay.
I'm just real quick.
Yeah, I see.
I just got
Mic check.
yeah.
We like it too. Good. All right, hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, first and foremost, we want to give all praise to the Most High.
Yeah, how by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Kakadash.
Want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Want to say shalom to all the brothers, supporters, and sisters who are sowing this truth with sincerity. All right, may the blessing of blessing be upon your house. There's a particular level of faith that's going to be required of us in the times to come. All right. So really believing on a particular level is supposed to be a point of emphasis for the people that you learn from. There's a lot of people with, with fringes on their t-shirts, that faith and the understanding they're going to be tested and they're going to have to stand on what they believe. It's not a point of emphasis when you look at a lot of these other groups. Our walk not being pretty, our walk, you losing things and people and really getting tough. You having to give up your attachment to this world. It's not a point of emphasis for a lot of people that know they're Israelites. There's a difference between being an Israelite, right? Knowing and being one. All right? A lot of people that know they're Israelite, but how many people are walking the walk, man? You go see over there. You want to say something?
But it's more than being an Israelite, being a part of the elect.
Yep.
That's what you're
Articulate. So you got a lot of people that know they're Israelites. Then you have the elect who are going to walk in it. They're gonna possess faith, stand up against the evil. They're gonna resist, the ploys and the plots that the devil is pushing on the people. They're gonna resist it. Okay, they spit their grace period, building up that spiritual muscle. You know, this brother came from working out here. You gotta build the spiritual muscle now, so that you can pass the test later. You got a precept? I'm finna find a precept I was thinking of. Here you go. I know it's in John.
I got it real quick.
Go ahead.
Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please Him. For he that cometh to the Most High, must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him.
He's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. What does that look like? What does that look like in practice? Well, you're going to be rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of your ability, but you're going to have works. Your life is going to revolve around the Lord's way. It's going to be evident in the way of man walks. That's what it's going to look like in practice. And if you're a teacher, the Lord put the Spirit in you, you're going to be out here doing this work. You're not just going to pop up when Kyrie repost a documentary. You're not just going to pop up when it's a protest. You're going to be out here. It's been in season and out of season. Okay, it's going to be evident where a man moves. All right, and he believes the reference. He believes the account. Okay, is that it on that? All right, now you go.
This is First John chapter 5 and verse 11. It says, "And this is the record that the Most High hath given to us eternal life, and this life is in His Son."
All right. So the bridge way to receive the reward from standing faith through the Son. Again, I'm going to bring up that Yahushua is not a point of emphasis. Talking about a lot of other groups. That's not something that's constantly being brought up and pushed to. They may know it, they may mention it here and there, but not on the level they ought to. Go ahead.
God, verse 12, it says, "He that hath the Son hath life, and he that hath not the Son, the Most High hath not life."
One of the key signs that the Spirit isn't dealing with a man is when they don't acknowledge Yahushua, or they don't push the name of the Father. Sorry. Okay, that's a key red flag that, the Lord ain't dealing with me. The only way we even get access to any of this is through His Son, kiss the Son, let's get right. So if you're somebody who's looking for the truth, trying to figure out where to go, that's something you should look out for. Right? Start with that. Okay? You got somebody, I think it's all the way to 13.
Okay, no, I think on.
If you got something, bring it out.
Not yet. I'm looking. First John chapter 5 and verse. All right, now we have verse 13. says, "These things have I written unto you that believe on the name of the Son of the Most High, that ye may know that ye have eternal life, and that ye may believe on the name of the Son of the Most High."
So if you're an Israelite, you believe on your house, you believe the record that the Lord gave on this side, you're gonna be a part of those first fruits that get to reap immortality. There's gonna be people that never die that are immortal on the earth. You don't learn that in the church. You don't learn that in a lot of the groups. They don't talk about the new bodies. I've never like I'm pretty sure somebody mentioned it somewhere, but I really don't hear it enough from another group. When you look at them, they're not mentioning, oh, we're gonna reap immortality. That's in the scriptures. That's the reward that we get for being diligent. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I remember you.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
He came out with the game.
I remember you got super cut.
Yeah, I
All
told
right.
you.
Yeah, man.
I wanted to go big, like how they did, like Samson.
Samson had he had dreads. He didn't have dreads. He had braids. People get it confused with the locks.
He had braids.
It was braids. They mess it up. People misinterpreting the scriptures. He had 7 braids.
Hey, if you gonna grow like Samson, no fades on the side, baby. No fades.
He had
No fades on the
dreads. He
side.
had the beard.
Yeah, he had the beard. Get the law.
Yeah.
Use your heads up.
I can't even grow this shit if I want.
It's all right. Bro, you can.
Braids though.
You can do the braids. You got the hairline for it. All right, brother.
Yeah, we all losing our hairline up here.
Yeah.
Damn. I think when you get in the truth, it's like
That's a
they come with a starter pack. It's like a starter
Dog
pack.
Vegas, lost hairline, and alcoholism. Bad joke.
Everything. But you do sometimes you need a drink to deal with the sorrow. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, everything, moderation. Jake Rose. I don't know what's right there. All right, finish that.
Yeah.
13. Now, when you go to Matthew 26, get Matthew 27:52. There's some things that you might bring up to people that happened in the scriptures, man, and you ask them, hey, you believe that happened? And they'll be on the fence about it. All right, you really got to believe the record that the Lord gave us something. Yeah.
27 and 52.
Yeah, let's see what happened there. I'm going to ask them, I want you to ask us if you believe this happened.
Yeah. Matthew 27 and 52. And the graves were open.
Okay, yeah, so this is after the crucifixion, right? Check out what happened, man.
And the graves were open, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose.
So many believers, many people that were known, like this man stood stiffly for the Lord, that passed away, they came up out of the grave and they was amongst the people. Now let's check it out. We lost people in Great Millstone. Men that we know stood stiffly for the things of the Lord. Stuff like this gonna be happening again.
Yep. See.
Do you really believe that though? You're gonna have to really believe this kind of stuff happened to pass the test that we about to go through. Come on, brother. I can see. Okay, yeah, read that again, man, because people are reading that and they just kind of.
And the graves were open, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose and came out of the graves after his resurrection and went into the holy city and appeared unto many.
And appeared to like people witnessed. It was many infallible proofs that this man was who he said he was. All right, many infallible proofs. All right. So with that being said, you're gonna have to believe on that level to have the strength to stand against the evil. I want to get that. Let's get stand against the evil. Then I want to go to Acts, the 7th chapter, and I want to read Stephen's speech. That speech after me was tight. In Acts, the 7th chapter. And I read that last night. I said, goodness. Especially when you read it in NLT. Acts, the 7th chapter. But evildoer first.
Yeah, that brother.
I'm getting it.
First. Somebody.
Psalms 94, verse 16.
This is Psalm chapter 94 and verse 16. It says, "Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?"
The people that are endowed with faith. That's who's going to stand up against the evil. All right? That's what the Lord is looking for when he returns. Okay? But how do you nurture faith? You got to be into the scripture. You got to study. You got to read it. You got to be paying attention to the prophecy. Let me tell you something. When you read the prophecy, you get to understand the prophecy of this book, and then you see it playing out in the earth. It's like something clicks in you. We're like, damn, I have to be down with this. It's already written what's about to get ready to play out. That really built my faith up early on, man. Like seeing the prophecies play out, like, oh, this is to the teeth. But in order to be in the spirit of prophecy and for that to resonate with you, again, ties back to who? Revelation 19:10 says the spirit of Yahweh Shah is the spirit of prophecy. Right? So I'm gonna read this real quick. Oh, you got something? I want to read. Yeah, okay. That 7? Yeah. Six. It's on the 6. Just the end of 6, so it set the scene for. Okay, you know what I mean? This Luke 18:7. So those who have faith and are walking in the Lord's way, like the elder mentioned, the elect, they're going to stand up against the evil of the Lord. And the Lord is going to be a hedge of protection to them. He's going to hide them in the day of the Lord's evil, like it says in Zephaniah 2:3. It's Luke 18:7. And so not God avenge his own elect. It's about the elect. Again, these other camps, they don't mention the elect in Israel. They talk about nation building and bringing everybody back. That's not what the Lord's plan is. Nor is he concerned with everybody. He's dealing with the cream of the crop, the first fruits of our nation. All right? And so not God avenge his own elect. We cry day and night unto him. Last week we went in Ezekiel 9 chapter, the 4th verse, because why? That is a highlighter point for the way the elect is going to conduct themselves. Now, Ezekiel 9:4 says what? That the elect are going to be sighing and crying for the abominations being done in the midst of them. Come on, brother. No. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth. So that's what the Lord is looking for. So faith needs to be being built up, and it needs to be reiterated to you constantly, reiterated to the flock. That's not happening amongst these other groups.
Right. The other groups are emphasizing keeping the law, which the law is a beautiful thing. Yes, we keep the law, but our foundation is Yahweh Shai. That's what that believing in Yahweh Shai, and saying believing that he's going to save us, believing that we're Israelites. That's something that you can't quantify, bro. That's something that you can't. A law can teach you to keep. You know what I'm saying? You have to be bestowed with faith. And the elect are going to have that unwavering faith when adversity hit, right? And also, the elect are going to have the prophecy. They're going to be prophesying about the end times, man. They're going to be getting the masses ready for the said person to come. And these other camps aren't doing that. These other camps are teaching fluff because they want to bring in a large number of people, man, of Israelites. And that's going to be a way for a lot of people to get judged in that thing. To waking up to the Israelites to be destroyed, like it says in Ezekiel the 37th chapter. A lot of them have, standing on their feet, but they don't have that breath of life.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we had that encounter last week, man. It's going to be people that it's just they lot to parent. Can't fret about that. So I want to go to Acts, the 6th chapter, and show you, like, look, there's a bunch of parallels with the true men of the Lord in this time and the men of the Lord of old that you could go to identify who the foolish men are. You can identify who the wicked spirits that was going along with Yahweh Shah being put to death. You can identify that today too. There's parallels between everybody because it's the same spirits that are back there today. Okay? Acts 6, start at 1 through 15, it kind of goes through the sets the story. Then we'll jump to Acts 7, 35.
Or the NLT.
NLT.
Acts 6:1. But as the believers or disciples, in the case it be, rapidly multiplied, there were rumbling of discontent. The Greek-speaking believers,
Acts jump to 8. Start at 8. I started 8.
jumping down to 8, Stephen, a man full of God's grace.
So Stephen, he was promoted. He was a brother that, they knew he was full of faith and he was diligent. So he was given a position amongst the church. Okay? Because and you read up, we was gonna read through it, but we just jumped to 8. All right, there was responsibilities that needed to be had within the churches that they had to delegate other men. The apostles, they can't micromanage all the different churches all across the world. So there's elders and brothers set up to handle particular matters and deal with things, right? So the camp back then is the same as the camp now. But go ahead.
Stephen, a man full of God's grace and power, performed amazing miracles and signs among the people. But one day, some man from the synagogue of freed slaves, as it was called, started to debate with him. They were Jews from Cyrene, Alexandria, Cilicia, and the province of Asia.
Yeah. Israelites. And then here's the key in on that. Look at all these, it says Jews, but we know it's saying Israelites. All these different places. Right? We were scattered even back then. It's always about this family of people for the simple Christians that come up, man. It's always the characters in the Lord's movie revolve around the family. The main character, so to speak. You got it.
Right. None of them could stand against the wisdom and the spirit with which Stephen spoke.
And when you talk about the men of the great millstone and those that teach the likewise doctrine, nobody can stand against the full truth that we bring out. Yeah. So they result to ad hominem attacks or saying, "Oh, look, y'all teach great." No, we teach on how it's dealt with when it happens in the scriptures. The same way Esau has a law on how you deal with it when it happens. But they're reaching for something to justify them, pushing us out the way or trying to say, "Oh, we don't got to listen to them," because really they're trying to find a way not to be held accountable by the Lord. See, you got it.
So they persuaded men to lie about Stephen, saying
they persuaded men to lie. They persuaded men to lie. Before Pegasus was exposed for being who he really is, well, he played that Trump card because that Trump card. Oh, they teach this. He knows damn well that's not the case. But people result to that because they looking at it as a competition. If they want the apostle spot, they want the brother spot, they want to be the man amongst Israel, okay? So that they're looking for anything to justify themselves. So they're willing to even go to these lengths of lying to be in that position. All right, you got it.
So they persuaded some men to lie about Stephen, saying, "We heard him blaspheme Moses and even the Most High,"
which was a bold-faced lie. And people tried to say that maybe like a year ago. Oh, they don't teach the law. Yeah, you got to keep the law to the best of your ability. It's not going to save you.
Right.
The law, and on top of that, our forefathers couldn't keep the law perfect. So even them, they was saying, "Nigga, y'all ain't keeping it perfect." What we really need is the new bodies. That way we can keep the law on an even higher level. Because the law, like the scripture says, is a schoolmaster. When you're a child, you got a rigid set of rules within your house that you got to keep. But when you become adults, the way that your parents gave you, there's certain things they didn't even have to teach you that you just know, right? Because you were brought up in it when you graduated. When we get those bodies that have the law within our inward parts, the Lord's way is just going to in us on an even higher level than the 613. See, that's what we're trying to get to. But you niggas are so carnal and earthly that y'all don't understand what we say when you say it. You got it. Y'all keep about to say something.
No. Get to the point. Verse 12. They rose the people, the elders and the teachers of religious law. So they arrested. Let me read that again. They roused the people, the elders and the teachers of religious law.
Inflammatory speech. When you say, "Oh, these men, they're pregnant," that's it. That is meant to pull on the heartstrings of people to manipulate you to get what you want them to do. But whenever somebody actually listens to us break it down, they're like, "Oh, that's just what the scripture said."
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, but people." Yeah, go ahead.
But 2/3 of our people are majority of Israel. They went up in arms with an elder, a chief priest, bending over, man, and doing and committing sodomy. That was not a uproar. That's how you know these people are full of shit.
They're full of shit. They just got a problem with the Lord's actual man. That's it. That's really just it.
Bro, you call yourself a chief priest, bro. You doing something like that, bro.
With the ball gag in your mouth.
Right. Now you say this same man said that he would stone us for eating Thanksgiving dinner, but in the ancient times, you don't think you would have got stoned for that, bro?
Crazy work. Then the nigga was unrepentant. He fake repentance, bragging about your bank account after that. Okay, come on. Let's read.
Verse 12.
Okay.
This roused the people, the elders, and the teachers of religious law.
Nobody runs like that. Sorry. Somebody runs like that.
She made my
Yeah, look at me. She's running like that on purpose.
Yeah. So they arrested Stephen and brought him before the high council.
So they were brought. Their hands was put on. They was brought before people to answer for what they teach. Yeah. That's gonna happen to the men of the Lord. It's in this time.
Which is the Sanhedrin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's it. Yeah, go into that. Go into that. What's the Sanhedrin?
Where the Sanhedrin was basically a council of both the Sadducees and the Pharisees, and they had jurisdiction in the land of Judea to basically keep the laws, and if they had to put somebody to death, they had to get counsel for the Roman Empire in order for them to be able to do so. They had free range to play out or act out the customs, our customs. Now within that free range, they began to add the oral laws, which these oral laws you spoke about, like in Mark 6 chapter 4 on and all that. That became just as serious as the written law. And with these oral laws, they were able to basically find loopholes, not to keep the original Torah. This is what Yahweh is calling out. It's calling he's finding his hypocrisy. And within doing so, he got killed for it. It's the same thing with the believers, calling out the hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying? The believers are going to be not only ostracized but killed.
So what you see with Trump is he's getting ready to deputize everyday citizens. Okay, in the Sanhedrin, would you not liken them to like a task force that was able to do particular things?
Well, I wouldn't call them necessarily a task force per se, but they just had they more so like judges over. They had jurisdiction over, like, again, Judea to certain law to ensure that the law that you command for our culture was intact. You know what I'm saying? So somebody like Nate, all he needs to do is just get in league with the right people, and just to demonize us.
Yeah,
which is very plausible that he'll do.
So I brought up the fact with Trump, he's getting ready to deputize just everyday people. I don't think it's far-fetched for him to deputize the Israelite group that they set up to try to micromanage and judge the rest of it. That's not a far thing that happened. So a lot of these things that happened back then are getting ready to happen now. And we've been given examples in the scriptures of things that more time we're reading for our learning. It's there for a reason. But we got to look at how our forefathers dealt with these scenarios so that we also pass our text. Okay? I think pretty much it's verse 15.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to get the scene being said. Yeah, first. Yeah.
Okay. Let me read now. Okay. Now this is Acts 6 and 13. Actually, I'll start at 12. They roused the people, the elders, and the teachers of the religious law, so they arrested Stephen and brought him before the high council. The lying witnesses said, "This man is always speaking against the holy temple and against the law of Moses."
We're going to get lied on the same way our forefathers were lied. And it's going to be a bold-faced lie. People going to be saying crazy shit about you, shit that's like, people going to be saying shit about you that you're going to be like, damn, I see why people willing to take it there with us. If they really believe in these people saying, I ain't mad at them being this angry. Looking, they're going to lie on us so bad. And then they got technology to make it look like you did shit you ain't even do.
Yep. That brother see that VO3?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it looks like actual, it looks like actual people.
They had a whole commercial play out, and I was watching it, and I'm a technical guy. Like, I'm into technology and cinematography. I dead ass couldn't tell at first that it was AI. Like, it made it look so real. with the imperfections in the people's faces and everything. I was like, oh shit, this is AI.
Right.
And that's just what they're showing you.
Yeah.
That's what they're showing you publicly.
Right.
Which I always know if they're showing me something, they got something better.
Oh yeah. I mean, they got enough footage of us out here on the highways,
They
and
can look
byways,
like
to make us look like we went crazy and went Rambo on these people. You know, to make it look like you know, here's some idiots things for children. I hate to say it.
they're gonna bring you to court. They're gonna wherever you did this day. I was serious. This ain't you. I'm like, nigga, that ain't me. This isn't you.
But it's
You
gonna
know?
look exactly like you and
Yeah.
everything. Have the voice and
Have the voice,
everything.
everything. You
Right.
talk on these phones. Look, they got a program that came out a year ago, the AI way controlling the voice. They don't need for you to talk into that program. You've been talking on this phone. We talk on these videos. They can mimic anything.
Yeah.
So like, bro, you're gonna be lied on in a completely whole new way.
Yep.
You got to be prepared in the spirit to still stand with the Lord and still be upright in mind and in your judgment, even on these lies and accusations about to come.
Right. Because people want to believe that we're scumbags.
Yeah.
And it's majority of our own people. Our own people are more biased towards us than a lot of Edomites. Edomite come over here and listen. Jacob come in and already looking and discussing at us.
Jake just looking for a reason to say you ain't shit. Or you ain't no better than me. They looking for that reason.
Yeah.
Because look, Diddy did that bullshit, yeah. But what about Epstein? Whenever the white man do some freaking nasty shit, they throw that nigga out.
Right.
You know, and Jacob get on hit the niggas ass before they look at the so-called white man.
Oh, right.
Bro, Epstein, he was friends with presidents,
Right.
world leaders that was coming to his island. And you worry about Cassie. Goofy as shit.
Right.
That's
It's coming out how, you know, they Harrison was with it. You know, only thing that stopped her from not, you know, continue was the fact that he didn't want to marry.
right. With shit, when his wife had died, shit, Cassie was around. They said she was an antagonist to his wife that died. She probably had something to do with that shit. But yeah, you worry about that. It's bigger fish to fry. That's what the prophets are pointing out, man. There's a bigger problem. All right? But our people are so low level, they only can see as far as their nose. So they don't even talk about it and consider these things.
God. Verse 14, Acts 6:14. We have heard him say that the house of Nazareth will destroy the temple and change the customs Moses handed down to us.
That's just a bold-faced lie. Now, I want to jump to his speech in the next chapter. We'll jump because they was talking about how he was, he ain't down with Moses' laws. Okay, let's jump to the next chapter. Let's listen to Stephen speak.
I got it.
Okay, go.
At this point, everyone in the high council stared at Stephen because his face became as bright as an angel's.
Wisdom maketh the man's face to shine. The Lord put the spirit on him for this speech. Because the scriptures also say, don't think about what you shall say. Da-da-da-da. The Lord gonna give you those words that same hour. Clearly, in the next chapter, that wasn't Stephen speaking. That was the Lord's word speaking through Stephen. But Stephen had to have that faith for the Lord to deal with him on that level. Before that to even happen. Stephen, in this next chapter, this speech contained the history of Israel, brief synopsis of the history. Then he went into the history of how our people always dealt with the men that the Lord sent. And then he showed them, look, you those same spirits that rejected the man that the Lord sent all the time. You the same niggas. And he was calling for them to repent. It was really supposed to convict them so that they repented. All right? But instead of repenting, what did they do? The same thing they always did. They killed the man of the Lord. But this time, they ain't going to get all the men of the Lord this time. The Lord going to lift up the standard. It ain't going to go the way they think it's going to go.
That's right.
So let's go. Oh, you got something?
All those guys that were coming up against Moses, coming up against our people, coming up against the prophet, Stephen. All these are spirits that aren't written in the book of life. You know what I'm saying? They're not written in the book of life. Although the high priests, although they know that the Israelites, they knew that they were Israelites. These are people that wasn't a part of the elect.
So now, Let's go look at a little bit of separate speech. Remember, they said he wasn't down with Moses, right? Let's go see what he said, though. I want it in NLT, too.
Yeah, this is Acts chapter 7 and verse 35 in the NLT. It says, so the Most High sent back the same man his people had previously rejected.
So he went through the history of Moses and how people knew that he murdered that Egyptian, defending them, and how they rejected him. But he's bringing out the fact that the Lord used this same man that the people looked down on. They looked down on Moses. They said, what? Who is you to be a ruler over us?
Yeah.
They still had that same spirit when he went and got the laws from the Lord. What happened to this nigga? We don't know. Hey, Aaron, make a God for us.
Yep.
That same, so he's pointing out the hypocrisy of our people. And he's drawing that parallel with them. He's giving a speech to them, showing, look at the parallel. Look at how people acting. Y'all acting the same fucking way. Got it.
Back in Acts chapter 7, verse 35, I'll read from the top. It says, so the Most High sent back the same man his people had previously rejected when they demanded, who made you a ruler and judge over us?
The Lord set a particular man in place. But because we don't look the part, we don't speak smooth things. That's what I like to hear. Because we don't speak into them smooth things, they don't want us to be in this position. Whether you like it or not, we're the utensils that the Lord is speaking to. It doesn't make us special, but the Lord is using us at the end of the day. This is how you're gonna hear the voice of the Lord. We ain't gonna say nothing that the scriptures don't say. But they don't like that because they don't want to be held accountable to the Lord's standard. So there's a recompense for that. You're gonna die here, man. You're gonna be left here and melted. Got it?
God, continuing on in the middle of the verse, it says, through the angel who appeared to him in the burning bush, the Most High sent Moses to be their ruler and savior.
So these same men that what? You have a derision and a proverb of reproach. They're going to be, I'll brought some part of that number. They're going to be the rulers of the world to come. And the world to come, the age to come is going to be an everlasting age. Okay? You got it.
Verse 36 says, and by means of many wonders and miraculous signs, he led them out of Egypt through the Red Sea and through the wilderness for 40 years.
Now in Jeremiah, was it 15th chapter? The Lord talks about that the deliverance from this place is going to outdo the deliverance from Egypt. So there's a lot of miraculous things we read earlier in Matthew 27, how people, some of the saints rose out of their graves. The Lord's going to do more miraculous things than that. We're going to see some out of this world stuff that you never thought possible. So with that being said, you got to have the faith for the Lord to deal with you for you to be a part of those miraculous miracles and wonders. So right now, in this grace period, it needs to be built up. See, you got it, bro.
God,
Let's got precepts, man. You know, hop in and ain't tripping. You know?
God. Verse 37, Acts chapter 7, verse 37 in NLT says, Moses himself told the people of Israel, the Most High will raise up for you a prophet.
Now, they said he wasn't down with Moses, right? That's what they said in the chapter previous. Not only did he acknowledge Moses, he pointed out the fact that Moses was pointing to Yahweh Shai. That's what, go read it again.
God, Acts chapter 7, verse 37 in the NLT from the top says, Moses himself told the people of Israel, the Most High will raise up for you a prophet like me from among your own people. Moses was with our ancestors, the assembly of the Most High's people in the wilderness, when the angel spoke to him at Mount Sinai, and there Moses received life-giving words to pass on to us.
And who was the angel speaking to Moses? The same man that they put to death. He came in the flesh. Go ahead, bro.
God, verse 30.
You got something? Go ahead.
This is John chapter 5, verse 46. It says, and this is red letter, by the way, for had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if ye believe not his writings, how shall ye believe my word?
They was on one accord. And he was there. He was the one suffering with Moses in the first place.
Yep.
You niggas aren't about Yahweh Shai, which is why y'all don't acknowledge him as much as y'all should. All right? Which is why y'all don't talk about faith. Which is why y'all don't go into these high-level things that are getting ready to happen. Because y'all earthly things. Y'all not about the kingdom. Which again is why y'all talk about nation building. Y'all always doing stuff that links us to this place. It's clear and clear. If you can't see it at this point in time, man, the Lord clearly ain't dealing with you. You don't have the eyesight to see what's right and what's wrong. Sure. That's why prophecy is changed. All the damn time. I'm talking about white. No, if I was in this world, I would just sit up by one of the camps and spell white out. Or that tape where you could write over, you could take away your notes. Because especially the Purple Rangers, they got to change their notes on Revelation 13 all the time. They got to change their notes on hell all the time. Shit, even the new group with Genesis, they got to change their notes on what Babylon the Great is all the time. Where the lake of fire is, it's like it's so much notes change.
The doctrines are becoming more and more ambiguous. It's very hard to figure out. And that shows you when somebody does that, or when somebody changes the doctrine like that, they let you know that they have an ulterior motive.
And it's clear to see what it is. It ain't even like, what does he want? Niggas trying to save Babylon the Great because they want to thrive in America. They want to be here.
They want money.
They want money. They want to, how can I do my shit if I can't do it in America? A nigga can't see himself doing nothing outside of America for a long time. They can only really see themselves really here in this place. You know, they think success has to be attached to Babylon the Great. It's just like they just got a red, white, and flag on their forehead. You know what I mean? So they gonna be left here. You gonna burn with this place. You got it.
Wisdom of Solomon 15 and 12. But they counted our life a pastime, and our time here a market for gain. For, say they, we must be getting every way, though it be by evil means.
No, don't listen to the bunk cap. Your measurement of if the Lord is dealing with somebody, is if they have success in this world or gain in this world. Alazar talking about his bank account. He going to hell. You can see that their mentality and their way of thinking is attached to Esau's found his infrastructure.
That's right.
These niggas worship the beast.
Right.
And they worship the image. So they're gonna take his mark. And they're gonna lose him.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you got guys, that's supposed to be your militant camp, supposed to be Sakari, the revolutionary camp, asking for hugs from somebody who's a known scoffer, can't belong. He diligently tries to disprove, our beliefs, bro.
Up there hugging a small hat. That's what vocab is. Man, that's just it's nasty. Just looking at that. It's disgusting.
People do that because they're on a PR campaign, make themselves more palatable to the world.
Virtue signaling.
Yeah, right?
Trying to lift their status up in this world by doing things that are palatable to the people.
Yeah, this guy Alton Johnson, I know a scoffer to us, a Calvinist. He said that after everything transpired with Alazar, he went ahead and had lunch with him. He had lunch with him while he was in Atlanta. So the same person is trying to disprove what you believe and curse you out. You're gonna have lunch with him because it feels good to your emotion. But that shows you once again that shit, you really here for your belly and not for your outside.
All right. You done on that?
I have something else.
Okay, Kyle, we'll go back to Acts 7.
So Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 19, it says, and when the Lord Yahweh saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no faith.
So the Lord is hiding his face from a bigger portion of our people. Because they're not really about, they're about this world. They're about succeeding here. Okay? We're supposed to be longing for what, brothers? New heavens and the new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. That's not their concern.
Well, I wanted to bring that out because in allusion to when Moses came down off the mount, he had that veil upon his face. And Israel didn't understand that, where that glory actually came from, which is through Yahweh Shah. you know, and that veil is still upon them. So they try to lean upon, you know, the law. They try to lean upon all these cardinal ordinances, but they neglect Yahweh Shai in the first place. So, and even in the Old Testament, it talks about how the Lord said, "You are children of no faith." Right? The Lord always wanted you to look toward Yahweh Shai. You always had that law going toward Him, but yet Jake can't see it, and even so much more in these times when the mysteries have been fully revealed to us. So how much more of a destruction since you disacknowledged the Son?
That's it, man. Again, Stephen pointed out the fact that this man, that hey, it was all pointing to this man. You got read that last verse in Acts 6 again.
At 6 and 15, at this point, in the NLT, at this point, everyone in the high council stared at Stephen because his face became as bright as an angel's.
So they stared at him. They were like, "Damn, something put them off about it." They were like, "Damn, all this they seeing miracles." And he said in Acts 6, like, "Hey, and he was the man that was doing miracles." They were with like, bro, these niggas was seeing this shit.
Yeah.
And it never crossed their mind that damn this man is all might be dealing with these men.
Right.
Like it ain't like today, you don't see, we're not at this point in time, because after we off the streets, the ministry's gonna turn to something else. The work still will get done. So it's gonna be things like that happening. But right now, we're at a point in time, bro, where they not seeing, the people being rose from the dead, we healing the, they're not really seeing that right now. That's to come. But they was actually seeing it back then. And these niggas still was being, that goes to show you that there's no talking to 2/3 of our people.
Yeah.
That's why we're not dealing with them. We're looking for the elect. See, now you can go back, though.
Yeah.
Read that precept where we talk. You got something? Yeah, go ahead.
This Jeremiah 23. And I started verse 30 in the NLT. He says, "Therefore says the Lord, I am against these prophets who steal messages from each other and claim they are from me. I am against these school-tongued prophets who say this prophecy is from the Lord." And you see, like this. Like, you don't see the really now.
You see it has each input.
Right.
So it still can be good stuff.
Hey, like Jeremiah said, these school talking, man. Like you see a lot of school talking, man. The Lord said, "Hey, you're against these people, man." He said, "I'm gonna keep going to say, I'm against these false prophets. Their imaginary dreams are flagrant lies that lead my people into sin. I did not sin or appoint them, that they have no messages at all for my people. I, the Lord, have spoken." It says, "Suppose one of the people or one of the prophets or priests asked you, what prophecy has the Lord burdened you with now? You must reply, you are the burden. The Lord says He will abandon you. If any prophet or anyone,"
If I can say, we're supposed to be telling Jake that that you're gonna be destroyed. That's a prerequisite for a prophet. If your church is talking about destruction of our people, that's a huge, indicator that the Most High is not dealing with you. That's likely, it should have been a free for all, man. And, back in the day, it used to be very strict, like certain things were allowed in. Now, Jake is all over the place, bro.
All over the place to the point where your chief high priest could be a homosexual.
I was,
Yeah.
Crazy.
I was thinking that, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
Might as well just be a nigga.
yeah.
That's the standard.
Take them fringes off.
Then take that shit off. Leave the hat on. Take the fringes. Take the fringes off. Hey, that's I don't even know if other camps think like that. They thinking like about 140. They think about the government that's going. They don't think like that, man. These things got it.
verse 34 says, "If any prophet, priest, or anyone else says, I have a prophecy from the Lord, I will punish that person along with his entire family." It says you should keep asking each other, what is the Lord's answer, or what is the Lord saying? But stop using the phrase prophecy from the Lord, for people are using it to give authority to their own ideas, turning upside down the words of the Most High.
That's what's going on. And people are getting a hold of the scriptures, and they're using it as a way to push their opinion. Many people have been destroyed for their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Really the focal point of the ministry is ushering in your house shop. Right. But you have people that's taking on to these scriptures and they're making it about like the brother is going into Mason building, get money, scoffing at the elders, disproving doctrines. You know, when prophecy is playing out before your eyes, the spirit of prophecy is your house. You're supposed to be going into the end times, bro. Now you going to all this depth about hell and things. What about the sea here, bro? Okay. What about the technology that's being ushered in right before our eyes? Right. AI and how it's being slowly but surely integrated in society and also your individual life.
Shit, they just passed a bill to where they're basically handing over authority to these companies like Microsoft, Tesla. I forgot what the bill is called, but it has put in place to where you cannot sue any companies that are producing AI if it's called
Like,
yeah. You can't sue any company that's storing AI. Can't sue them.
that's everybody.
And then they're talking about giving AI authorities to put in legislation. So yeah, that's what they just passed it while everybody's worried about fucking Cassie. Fuck. They just passed this law to where they're implementing AI within your government. AI is going to make judgment calls in your life. But that's not in the scriptures.
I mean, every aspect of your life is going to be affected by AI. I mean, right now you can go to chat if you want to make your own website. You can go to Chat GPT and put in, "Hey, I need a website." It can make you a website. That's coding. Ooh,
That's a lot of jobs.
that's a lot of jobs that's taken away from the market, and it's already happening uh, on a high scale with various companies. You know, it's going to even a certain blue collar jobs are being minimized by AI. Truck driver, you always like to bring out, and brothers brought up beautifully. You know what I'm saying? The automated trucking company in south of Dallas, right? They got contracts with Uber Eats and things of that nature, and they're going from 45 to Dallas, 45 to Houston, 45, back and forth all day long. They don't have to pay anybody. That's another field that's being affected by AI. Bookkeeping, accounting. Hell, they got humanoid robots that can work in factories. A lot of people are about to be displaced. The squeeze is coming to where the eventual choice is either you're going to not amalgamate with this society and AI. You know what I'm saying? Or you going to take that sea hill or the chip. Okay.
It's called the Big Beautiful Bill. If you want to look it up, and they don't start talking. It's a 1,000-page bill.
Excuse me, brother. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, hold on, bro. Yeah. See ya.
It's a 1,000-page bill, and they don't start talking about the AI that's written into legislation until page 200. 1,000-page bill. It's called the
Hold on.
Beautiful Bill.
Now you up here, you being cool with us. I got now. I got to put you on. So go to Revelation 16. Because if you got here, you know, we cool with you. Well, what we talk about is not a game, big dog.
Yeah, it's
No.
not.
I
Hell
feel you, but hold on, we gonna read this. Go ahead,
Nah.
bro.
Galatians 13 and 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast.
So y'all, you want to know what we about? So we're the Hebrew Israelites of the scriptures. Real soon you're gonna have to make a choice. There's a mark that's coming that's gonna be implemented in your body. That's gonna have everything about you in that chip. And if you bow down to that, the Lord's gonna kill you. The Lord's gonna kill you if you take that chip, bro.
Yeah.
So you're having a good time, you're dapping us up. I appreciate that. I love for you to come out more. But understand what we teach you. Now, if you accept it, cool. If not, cool. But you need to know that guess what? You're gonna have to make a choice for what you believe in, bro. Hey, go to Revelation 14:9. Yeah, yeah.
Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9.
And Revelation 19.
Revelation 14 and 9. It says, the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image,
What is the beast? You know what the beast is? Okay, I can work with that. Now, the devil has a counterpart on the earth. He's called the son of perdition. Get the second edge.
I get you. The devil there's a people on earth that carry out the workings of the devil. If you go to 2 Thessalonians, right, it lets you know this.
yeah,
So you got-
with this gear,
you got-
rap.
it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna expound on it.
I'll read it for you.
Okay, 2 Thessalonians 3. So there's a counterpart to the wicked on the earth. Check it out.
2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the sons of perdition.
There's a man of sin. There's a people on the earth that carry out evil. Up the first time and tell you flat out.
Okay. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day should not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. You said Satan, right? That word perdition means basically destruction. Now, the man of destruction that's on the earth are so-called white people, which are Edomites. They rule the world.
They're not white. That's the name they gave themselves.
Esau is Edom or Edomites.
So Esau, Edomites is the name of the whole family. That was the father of their family is Esau. So you got the father of our family named Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. Then you get the Israelites.
What about the tribe of Judah?
Yeah, that's the people. It's right down the sign.
More story of everybody, bro. Spread the word of God. No matter what you are, you can be a dolphin. No matter who you are,
It's a class.
spread the word.
Second Ezra 2:9. Even him who coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
So even him who's coming is after the work of Satan, but all power and signs and lying wonders. Part of those lying wonders is the mark that the elder was talking about. This society, when it crashes, that dollar crashes, you ain't gonna be out here. This shit gonna be through. America's through. Just talk about it. So you're gonna be confronted with a mark. All right, that RFID, you know the RFID chip. You got your credit card. You see that little chip. They say tap your card. They gonna put that in you. All your information gonna be on that chip in order for you to function in society. Or you go pay for something, you clock into work. That's gonna be in that chip. Now, if you take it, hold on. Now, if you take it, what you're doing, you know what you're doing when you take that? You're saying this man is my God and not the Most High. So we out here telling the people, hey, cling unto the Lord, understand what the hell's going on, because from the prophecy, so you don't fall for this. It should, and it's gonna come to a point where it's mandatory. Now, this is the thing. When it's mandatory and you can't eat, that's what the scripture read, Revelation 13:16. He gonna make it mandatory to take it. So in order for you to function in society,
Where it says,
Hey,
you gotta be respectful. It's a class. You understand?
okay. I'm gonna say this to you, big homie. I can appreciate that, but one, you kind of have a line, bro. But we teach it, and you get in front of our camera, big dog, and we ask you.
I'm
Every single, hold on. Okay, hold on. As a let's be man. Let's be man, big dog. Let's be man. If somebody coming up here, matter of fact, get the script. But that's our people, though. Our people won't. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Hey, Kimbo, what's your name? I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real with you, bro. You won't speak done.
yeah, just like Samuel,
You probably ain't gonna make it, baby.
like John,
Hey,
like
probably not gonna make it.
Joel, like
Probably not gonna make it.
hell.
You got a check. You ain't gonna make it.
Who are you to tell me that?
You ain't gonna
He
make it.
cannot judge me.
You
No,
ain't gonna
no,
make.
he
You ain't.
cannot judge me.
Hey,
He
what's
know
that? Hey,
that
what's that? The part?
only God, not the Father.
What's that?
Who are you to say
First
what I'm gonna
Peter,
just be? Who are you to say who I'm gonna be?
Go ahead.
That's
Go
all
ahead. I'm gonna show you what it talk about. Judge by man in the flesh. No, you all right.
But I'm gonna end up in life.
And that's 2/3 of our people. They don't want to listen. Most of our people ain't gonna listen. Most of our people, they gonna come out here and they gonna talk. It says First Peter, Second Peter. You don't like judged by a man and flee.
Hey, get Ecclesiastes 5:1 for the elder.
I get it.
Because when you come up to the Lord, there's a particular conduct that the Lord requires for you to have.
Our people want to talk, but they don't want to listen.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give sacrifice of fools.
That's right. So when you come out here, you're supposed to be listening.
Now we deal we deal with
Now,
people.
now the brother say, "Who are you to say this?" I'm not trying to say, bro. I've been out here for 16 years.
Probably ain't gonna make
You know what I'm saying?
You can't say that. You're not the Father. Who are
You
you
know?
to judge
Go
me?
ahead,
And tell me I'm probably
Verse 4 and 6. It says, for this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh.
So you gonna be courted, and you gonna be judged by man in the flesh. He can show emotion, he couldn't get it. But I try and be cool. But I'm not just let homeboy just disrupt the class like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, elder, you did right.
Hey, 2/3 of our people, man, they gonna be destroyed by your how about you. So you try to be cool and cordial to Jake, but more, like I say, most Jake, they want to hear that they special. They don't want to hear to get it right. You can talk about Judah. Well, let's talk about no, nigga. Let's talk about the end time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, most Jenkins, they in the spirit of the woman. They just want to be patted on the back.
A lot of niggas that know that they do gonna get their ass exposed. A lot of niggas that know that they intellect gonna die. Like they saying, what should you be focusing on? You know what I'm saying? What should be your main priority in these end times? Well, it should be prophecy. Be behind you. What you can do, all right, in order to escape the judgment that's going to take place on the planet Earth, man. Like they would have said, his homeboy was a little more humble than him. Yeah. See?
His homeboy ain't been up here before. He have. So he know what's up. And that's a lot. I mean, I should have went to the camera earlier, man. No, leaning up on the camera.
Yeah, it's all good. That's
I got something. You don't mind.
Go ahead.
break it down.
This is Proverbs chapter 18 and verse. I'm going to read verse 1 and 2, and it's in the GNT. It says, people who do not get along with others are interested only in themselves. They will disagree with what everyone else knows is right.
This nigga came up here talk about, I changed my hairstyle. Nigga, we're up here doing something.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Grown ass man talk about his hair.
That's a nigga that came up here talking about sample.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's been up here before.
Yeah.
Same
He pointed
nigga.
me out.
He heard that.
Yeah.
He had pointed me out. He said, I remember you. I'm like, yeah, but you like,
Being a nigga.
yeah, being a nigga.
There's a conduct that you're supposed to have when you come before the house of the Lord. But you know what? That's all right. The Lord gonna tighten him up.
Right.
And then he walked away and said, the Lord said, judge this. No, the Lord sets up judges, nigga. But, go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 2 in the GNT said, a fool does not care whether he understands a thing or not. All he wants to do is show how smart he is.
And that's what you do. You put out your social security card and put it on the damn internet, bro.
Yeah.
And he got roused up because the brother asked him a question. You know what the beast is? So that made him feel insecure because they really didn't know. So he want to start. Oh, look at my. That's nigga 101.
And he got this. It's a prime case of a nigga with daddy issue.
That's it, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
Got upset because he simply just don't know. Right? What does your social security card got to do with anything we'll be going into right now?
He just want to show that he knew something.
Yeah.
Because the brother showed that he don't know nothing. So then he got in that Nick Cannon on drumline spirit. Went up to his dad at the ticket.
Yeah.
I made it without you. That ass. Jake through. Jake fucking through.
Yeah.
Man, you got something else you want to bring out on that?
I have.
Okay,
This is John chapter 20, verse 22. It says, and when he had said this, he breathed on them and said unto them, receive ye the Holy Spirit.
whosoever sins you remit, they are remitted unto them. And whosoever sins you remit not, they are retained. And I just want to bring the point out because the elder went into how the Lord said that we could judge. The Lord set up judges on this earth, man. And the Lord is saying to the disciples, whose sins you remit, they are remitted. What does that mean? So whoever you judge and decide it, man, you through.
We're gonna be made government officials.
Exactly.
Right. And we don't come out here like, yeah, I'm over you type. You know,
Yeah, that's
we try to be cool. We try to be cool.
want you to make it too.
But we know that, hey, we ain't made it yet.
Yeah.
I know I got my shit. I gotta get, but come on, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, not for nothing. I'm out here trying, bro. We're not just out here.
Yeah.
You know, you come out here, don't be disrespectful, man. And a lot of Jake is in that disrespectful ass spirit, whether it be in person or the conference room.
Walk up to the camera, want to be on camera like a hoe. Groupie ass shit.
Dancing,
There's some groupie shit.
all up in the video.
Yeah, nigga. Male groupie.
Yeah.
You gotta go to some cars with that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Hey, remember when New Edition was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and they were dancing trying to get into the
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to the rest. He's like, nah. He's like, what was you doing? He's like, I was trying to get the video. That's what he was doing. I'm like,
Yeah, bro. Like, stop. Y'all trying to put yourself on the level with the men of the Lord. Look, no, you gotta come up here and learn, like just like each one of us did. If you sincere, but he wasn't sincere. He's a YN. Like they say in the world. Just a YN.
Because he wouldn't have did that shit, he saw.
Yeah, you wouldn't have went up in the white man church. Hey,
Yeah.
white man, hey, try to shake his hand. You wouldn't have did
I
that.
ain't gonna try to be.
Because you fear the white man, but you don't fear the Lord. So fuck it.
yep. Hey, they hate him that rebuketh at the gate, man.
Yeah.
Hey, just like your house shall condemn Capernaum, so y'all gonna be cast to hell. Just like our people, man, because they see us and they say, "Oh, this guy. Well, I know a guy like you."
Yeah, man. Because you got self-hatred. So you can't imagine somebody that looks like you being connected to the Most High.
Yeah.
That could never be the case, right?
Right.
So you know what? When the brother looked you in your eyes, said, "I don't think you're gonna make it, bro." When the Lord judges ass, that thought gonna run through his head. He gonna see your face.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna make it, bro. He gonna be damn.
Hey,
Yeah. These fellas-
Hey, we had this. The brother, when I had just read something, and I had said like it's a prerequisite to you be judged, and then that happened, and I was just like, well, I can't be a hypocrite, because I don't,
Yeah, we don't respect this person.
yeah, I don't, we don't come out here for competition. Back in the day, we would have, we would have torn his head off, man. We're coming into different times to where, we're coming into different times to where we have temperance.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that would have pissed me off, bro.
Yeah, you want to be patient because he came up. I remember him coming up before and actually listening, being quiet. First time he came, he listened. He was quiet, asked questions, we answered them. But the spirit just revealed him to be another nigga. That's all. Try to have a little patience with him because he did come up before another time and listen. But he's just a nigga.
Yeah, first I came out, he was like, oh man, I just feel like I'm about to cry. He just feel good.
His girl must have broke up with him that day.
Yeah.
So he
He
was
was talking about the female.
he was
That's
humble.
strange.
The
He
girl
was
left.
talking about, I remember that. He was talking about the female. He was with a female and he left. And they started listening to her.
He sat there and listened. His one piece of box was gone. You got it.
God, this is Proverbs chapter 23, verse 9. It says, "Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words."
Hey, that's 2/3 of my people that's silence, bro. They're not trying to hear a word we say. So, at the end of the day, guess what? Most times gonna deal with it. We gotta keep our faith like the brother gonna hate it.
You had somebody else had something back
Hey,
next year.
if I can say too, because what you said to him too, even if he didn't believe you, a righteous man would look at that as like a challenge. Somebody that's actually would be wanting to better themselves, they would look at, I don't think he's gonna make it, as a challenge to say, okay, well, even if the Lord put a spirit on animals to say things, the Lord put a spirit on unrighteous men to say things. The Lord put a spirit on righteous men to say things. Sometimes you'll feel like you have some random person say something to you, and you have to make inquisition about yourself. And so somebody that's spiritual will be like, well, dang, maybe what this person is saying is true, even if he ain't a judge or whatever. So that idea of you can't judge me, whatever, it's hypocritical to think. You know, the Lord put spirits on everybody to say things at the right time. You know, so you know,
He
the
not a
righteous man will
spiritual
judge.
man. He not a spiritual man to perceive that the Lord speaks to whoever he wants to speak to.
Right.
There's sometimes when we may be at work and a complete heathen like say mention something to you,
Right.
and you'll be like, damn, the Lord put the spirit in him. Say,
Right.
He's a spiritual man.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. He's a glazed over nigga. He had that glass look in his eyes.
Yeah.
Probably high on some shit.
Yeah, he sounds off that drink. I did that drink. He was
Yeah.
He was like,
One on one. In every situation, a nigga feel like he gotta be the guy.
yeah.
And that's why you got these leaders of Israelite groups. They start their own shit. They feel like they gotta be the guy. That's that insecurity of the nigga. He feel like he gotta be the focal point of everything. See? There. Yeah, like nigga, stop. You're a nigga. Okay? You're not an Israelite right now. You'll be that when you kill. Come back. Right now, that's the thing. Yes. I want to go to Acts 7 and get through the precinct.
Yeah. We never finished out the Ecclesiastes.
Yeah,
Now, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High.
this would be considered the house of the Most High. When two or three are gathered, I'm in the midst of them, right? So we're bringing out the word, we're prophesying to warn the elect so that they can be delivered, right? The Lord gives us instructions onto the conduct when you encounter this scenario. Go ahead.
God, and you know, and it says, be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
Yeah, what the old boy did was evil. He don't even realize what he did was evil, man. Yeah, his homeboy came up here listening, man. He had more little sense on him than the other Jake, man. Yeah, you see. So he really don't like. Hey, man, that could have been the spirit, but the Lord just marked that kid, man.
That was.
So the Lord, all right, well, that's the thing on the elder to say, they couldn't make it for this and say, that's yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. That's the second time coming up.
So that's he's got marked.
He's got Mark, and his homeboy had enough sense to be like, hell no. We ain't coming to your trap house, walking in your living room saying, hey, y'all.
Right.
Yeah, I just being facetious. You niggas ain't about damn thing. I know the niggas. But, you know, I know they ain't about nothing, but, they just had that nigga mentality. But also, y'all remember that saying to your grandparents used to have? Read that again. Be more ready to hear than to get a sacrifice of food.
Yeah.
In the world, they tell you what? You got 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yeah.
He knew damn well what he was doing.
Yeah.
But he wanted to prove a point.
He could be childish.
Little kid.
That God.
Yeah. You're him. That's all right. So the point brings a lot of that. Yeah. Fuck these niggas. See why we don't mind the Lord doing what he gonna do to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the Lord gonna do what he gonna do, man. You know what I'm saying? We like going back into the main topic. That's why we see they don't have a chance. We try to make sure that we have. Hey, real quick, Wisdom of Solomon 12 and verse 24. Or 22. We judge. If the water forgive that for me, but now I had quoted the wrong verse. Verse 6 in that previous verse previous the water for that. So 12 and 22.
All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 22. It reads, therefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more. To the intent that when we judge, we should carefully think of thy goodness, and when we ourselves are judged, we should look for mercy.
That's right. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for mercy. Right? That's going to take faith. Believing in Yahweh Shah. Right? To obtain that mercy.
That's it. She gonna get it no other way. Scripture tells us our righteousness is as filthy rags. There's nothing that you're gonna do based off your own merits that's gonna justify your salvation. You need Yahweh Shai. That's the only way. And the fact that these other groups don't emphasize him the way that they should is telling it itself. Right? I want to, Acts 7, 37, really 38, chapter 52, and we'll just go from there.
God, this is Acts chapter 7 and Acts chapter 7 and verse 37 in the NLT. It says Moses himself told the people of Israel, the Most High will raise up for you a prophet like me.
He was pointing to Yahweh Shai because remember in chapter 6, they said that he wasn't down with Moses. And that, so he's pointing out that Moses was even locked in and knowing that Yahweh Shai was to come. And y'all can't see it. Go ahead.
God, it says, the Most High will raise up for you a prophet like me from among your own people. Verse 38, it says, Moses was with our ancestors, the assembly of the Most High's people in the wilderness, when the angel spoke to him at Mount Sinai, and there Moses received life-giving words.
And that angel again was the same, that's the same spirit. It was Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh Shai's always been present. All right, the ones that could see back then, they just understood. Oh, this is that spirit. This is that first spirit that was created. Okay, they got it. But again, like that nigga couldn't see it. Jake can't see people looking like them really be that close to the Lord. They just it's something that just rubs them the wrong way.
Right. Because we're black. I think.
Dark.
They let the white man's poison and philosophy pollute their perspective on the world. You got it.
God. In the end of the verse, it says, there Moses received life-giving words to pass on to us. That's it. I'm doing that.
Down to 52 now.
God, this is Acts chapter 7 and verse 52 in the NLT. It says, name one prophet your ancestors didn't persecute.
So now he's flipping it on them. They ain't one prophet that your ancestors didn't persecute. Y'all notice this reoccurring theme? Y'all not learning the lesson? See Yahweh Shai, y'all put him to death. Now y'all trying to put me to death. That's stuff. Now y'all want to put me to death. Y'all see that the Lord is clearly dealing with us. We healing people. We're on fire for the Lord. But y'all justifying y'all ends. We don't got it. That's because they out there fathering the devil. See, they got to die with the wicked that the Bible speaks of. They got to die with them. They'll be brought back to the elect, but they're going to be our kids. There's going to be a separation. I brought some a part of that again. It's going to be a separation between the elect and the Israelite kingdom. We all going to be immortal. The Lord goes to something to where it's a separation clearly. Okay? Got it.
God, back in Acts chapter 7 and verse 52, okay, from the top, it says, name one prophet your ancestors didn't persecute. They even killed the ones who predicted the coming of the righteous one, the Messiah, whom you betrayed and murdered.
Now he flipped it on. He's like, y'all is guilty. You betrayed, you murdered those men. And y'all finna do the same thing now. You see these Christians, these Baptist Christians, they got that venomous hatred for us in their heart.
Yeah.
These other Israelites, same venomous hatred. You got it? You got to say something.
Well, going like the elder out there, Rock Samba, in
Vegas?
in Vegas. No, Rock Samba. That's his name in Washington.
Okay, go.
Previous Rock Samba.
If we mess with your name,
Spike. But that brother there, it was sit down on how, there was a guy with Christians sitting down, and this swole Christian just ran up on him. Yes.
what sense you playing, nigga?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
All right, you want me to read verse 50?
Yo, read that again, bro.
This is
I was making the lesson yesterday. I was just sitting at the park. Black woman, are you a minister? I just love to see what you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. A lot of feeling their hatred for Trump. So they just like seeing some black people stand up.
Yeah.
They came up here, they room.
Yeah. Oh, niggas are so simple. Damn. Go ahead.
Back in Acts chapter 7 and verse 52 in the NLT, says, name one prophet your ancestors didn't persecute. They even killed the ones who predicted the coming of the righteous one.
We're doing the same thing. We're predicting the second coming and how it's going to play out. What's going to be leading up to it. So those same spirits that killed the prophet before, they're not going to learn that lesson until the Lord make them learn that lesson. This is going to be that second death. See, go ahead.
Predicted the coming of the righteous one, the Messiah whom you betrayed and murdered.
Yeah, down to 58.
God, Lord, no, jump down.
No, we'll read through 58.
God, this verse 53, it says, you deliberately disobeyed the Most High law, even though you received it from the hand of angels.
People talk the law, but these niggas lately disobey the law. Actually, you can't say you can do it in the butt. The car out there wearing hats, they doing it in the butt. Purple Rangers, just disregarding the name. Rest in peace, Jordan Morgan. Just doing the butt, just doing Sabbath, sex on the Sabbath. Y'all talk about the law, but nigga, are you really about the law?
Beating their members up.
Beating niggas up. Just
No, that's crazy. That is a violation.
we're definitely not lawful, bro. Go ahead.
God,
We can go on. I just not remembering everything right now. Listen, you can keep going. Go ahead.
God, Acts chapter 7, verse 54 in the NLT says, the leaders were infuriated by Stephen's accusation, and they shook their fists at him in rage.
But did he lie?
No.
You're worried about the accusation. Did he lie though? He told the truth, and he knew what was gonna happen. And he told that truth. He ain't sugarcoat. He ain't pushing it around it. Lord put the spirit on to say it the way he said it, and he did it. And his reward, he gonna get his reward. You got it.
God, verse 55 in the NLT, it says, but Stephen, full of the Holy Spirit, gazed steadily into heaven and saw the glory of the Most High, and he saw Yahushua standing in the place of honor at the Most High right hand.
So it's like the Lord, after he gave his speech, it's like the Lord looked at him and said, yeah, my dog. That's my dog right there. That's him. He stood up for what was right. He was, you know, that had to be a beautiful feeling.
Now,
You know, like, damn, the Lord, you know what I mean?
yeah.
We a lot of brothers, hey man, I hope I get to experience that approval. Oh, that's the only approval we seek. The approval of the Lord, man. We don't care about the people, how y'all feel, what y'all think about us, what the shit y'all say about us. Thanks. We worry about the approval from the Lord, man. If that's not your mindset, you're gonna be doing shit you probably ought not to. Yeah. See, go ahead.
God, verse 56, Acts chapter 7, verse 56 in the NLT says, and he told them, look, I see the heavens open and the Son of Man standing in the place of honor at the Most High's right hand.
And he probably was saying it while they was hemming him up. And the Lord probably put that feeling on to where he didn't feel the stoning that he was about to get. You got it.
God, verse 57 says, then they put their hands over their ears and began shouting. They rushed at him.
These niggas put their hands over their ears.
Kids,
I can't hear you. Somebody put their hands over their ears, that's because they know you right.
yeah. Right. Throwing that nigga with a black dude.
I read it yesterday, but I must have
Wow.
seen the part, bro. He didn't put their hands over their ears. What? Go ahead, bro.
Showing that disdain by doing that.
Yeah, like,
Back in the day, we know Jake, you do dramatic things to show I do.
yeah, we're animated.
That's probably a cuss.
Yeah,
Like,
probably
better than our-
custom
better than
like,
our
oh,
souls.
no, don't hear this man's words of evil.
Yeah, it was-
So you evil.
Right.
I think they say that like they stupid thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
I'm not
I'm
sure.
about to look at, I know
I think it was very.
I asked a week ago for the matters in custody. I don't know where it went. I had it on my phone. But I'm pretty damn probably there's a custom people had.
Do you know Jake,
Yeah.
get a loved one or gets bad news, gets dust.
Yeah, like, oh damn. That's how Jake do now. They got they in the spirit, they'll pour out the 40. I'm talking about for little Jose. You know what? For little Saint.
They call that pouring libations.
Yeah, man.
Pouring out drink, that's
Yeah.
that's actually custom to
Yeah, so you know, our people in it, it's like the spirit is in them to do certain things. They just don't got it all the way.
Yeah.
He was getting somebody was getting something.
I was getting some.
Yeah,
Like a,
it's well, I'll read the verse of
Okay.
what it is. It's Proverbs 21:13. Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he shall also cry himself, but shall not be heard. In that verse, the idea of stopping your ears. It literally means to plug one's ears.
So that's what they do.
Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. These niggas close their ears up from hearing the truth. And that's the same thing y'all doing in the spirit, man. Y'all find any reason. Oh, we don't gotta listen to them. You guys break this. We don't gotta listen to you.
Well,
All right.
that's Proverbs 1. You know, because we
Yep.
crying out,
Yep.
those righteous men that Ezekiel 9, I mean,
Yep.
yeah, Ezekiel 9, those that cry inside. But here it is when these trials come, these tribulations, this time of Jacob's trouble come, and they cry,
Yeah.
and the Lord gonna stop their ears. Because that's the same shit that you niggas did, man.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lord gonna laugh at their calamity like
Yeah.
you mentioned.
Promise 1.
Yep, Promise 1,
Yeah.
20 on down, 20 on down.
20 on down.
Yep. All right, let's finish this off again. You brothers got it, man.
God, this is Acts chapter 7 and verse 58. It says, and dragged him out of the city and began to stone him. His accusers took off their coats and laid them at the feet of the young man named Saul.
So this was Saul like villain intro. You know, in the movie they introduced the big bad character. This is like this little intro onto the scene. All right, but the Lord did a great work with him. But they're not gonna have success killing the prophets like they did in times past, man. The Lord's gonna lift up a standard this time. We get ready to win. All that little shit, it's over with.
Yeah.
We get ready to win now, man. You see? And you gotta have that faith. You gotta be equipped with the faith to be in the spirit to carry that winning out. See?
People say Saul, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
all. Yeah, that was
remember
step
Saul
up.
was Saul said himself, you know, he was the master of the law. So Saul knew. Saul read the scriptures. He knew the prophets. He read the books. You know what I'm saying? And like the brother read earlier about Moses, you know how Moses spoke to Yahweh. All throughout the scriptures, it's spoken of Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? So you think Paul didn't know that, but that shows you that the Lord Yahweh got to reveal himself unto you in order for you to actually believe him.
Yeah.
Paul didn't know it until what? Yahweh revealed it. Because here we about to read. He about to put Stephen to death, bro.
Yeah.
He about to, all right, don't, put him to death. He was persecuting the church until Yahweh revealed himself unto him. Then he made a total 180, man. You see? Then he started speaking and he started preaching, you know what I'm saying? Against what he used to. Nah. Hey, Peter then was right. You know what I'm saying? So it lets you know, man, Yahweh got to reveal himself unto you, bro. You know?
And on top of that, it really shows how the Lord, he literally picks and chooses who he want to have mercy on. Because you would think, with, someone doing it like Saul, before he got changed, his name got changed to Paul, you wouldn't think he'd be part of your elect at that time, because ain't gonna put a righteous man to death, right? As well as he's persecuting Israel in general, right? Like going hard at it on top of that. And then the Lord just nah, I'm just flip it around, make him blind, and then give him his eyesight back. Before you know it, man, he keep coming to the Gentiles, aka the Hellenized Israelites, pretty much, right? Israelite foreigners. That's what I meant to say. Israelite foreigners. Like I let you know that's according to predestination. That's what it shows. I was not necessarily the worst, but it's the Lord. He already ordained it from the beginning. Yeah. So read about that. It's like you read about that in Isaiah 55 and Isaiah 46. Those two scriptures going to how at the end of the day the Lord counsel gonna stand, and he already had things written out. Not like the brother Malai, he'll make the point. This is a script. When we think about a script in a movie, the script is always written before the movie actually plays out. So we're watching the movie play out, but these scriptures have already been written. The Lord's already spoken these things in existence. See, so just wanted to predestinate for you guys. All right.
This is John 14 and 21 in the AMP. Says the person who has my commandments and keep them is the one who really loves me. It says, and whoever really loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and reveal myself to him. I will make myself real to him. See, so it's through Yahweh got to make himself known, bro. A lot of people, man, even Jake don't know, man, they don't know Yahweh, bro.
Yeah.
That's why the scriptures say, man, many shall say to me in that day, Lord, Lord. What do Yahweh shall say? Get away, nigga, I don't know you. You know? Hey, a lot of people, that's when that's scary to think of too. You know what I'm saying? That's why you should be thankful, man, that Yahweh shall reveal himself unto us, man. All right? Because if you truly know Yahweh shall, your foundation is going to be based on Yahweh shall, man. See, it's going to be based on the prophecies, based on what the Lord said to do in these end times, man. You see, not furthering yourself in this world and, building a community on this side. No, if you about Yahweh shall, you understand it. It ain't about you're going to understand, hey, look, our only people who going to be united in this time is the elect. Hey, man, everybody's not gonna be saved, so you ain't gonna waste your time in the fucking hood trying to get all Jake to come together, man. Like some niggas that came up earlier, You got IUIC going to the hood, man. Right by my fucking job, bro. Every Wednesday, bro. When I leave work, them niggas is right there at the fucking Texaco.
Yeah.
Texaco, when niggas getting murked
I see.
damn near daily at that hoe, bro.
I see him in the phone too.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas wasting their time out there, bro. Trying to get some niggas. Man, hey, man, that ain't what it's about, man. See?
Yeah, imagine a guy like that with fringes on in your church,
Right.
Crazy.
It's been through.
and you give him a wife.
Hold on. Yeah,
Hey,
it's like you.
Yeah, like you a lot of herder destruction. You talking about the guy that came up?
Yeah.
Yeah, like think about that. We had a congregation, we had the women mixed in, and we paired that brother, he ain't not brother, but we paired that nigga up with a sister that was, no,
all
that's
types of stuff
crazy.
come out, bro.
All types of bullshit. That's kind of nigga that take dick pics under his fringes.
Right.
IUIC. Go ahead.
Goddamn, because it made me think about the that recent, well, the last situation I remember with IUIC, with the dude basically, I think what almost basically killing one of the ex members, right? And then it turns out like he was a felon, and like he just pretty much like I think he had like warrants and stuff or whatnot. He was like fighting court cases, but he was in IUIC, and I think he was like a high ranking guy on top of that, right? Yeah, I forgot why I was saying that, but like, nah, it was something else my was said about. Yeah, it's in my mind. But yeah, because having someone like that in your congregation is like, damn, like you just don't care, right? And that's the kind of stuff that's gonna get the ministry blamed, and we're not gonna really do that.
What company has righteousness with unrighteousness?
Yeah.
Damn, what you saying?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that's all I have to say on that.
I have
You got something?
yeah, time. Y'all can break it down too. This 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1, it says, therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not. And that word ministry is T1248. No EA. It says of those who by the command of the Most High proclaim and promote religion among men, which we know what it means by religion. It says the office of Moses, the office of the prophets, evangelists, the elders, um, the service of those who prepare and present food. But I'll read it again. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not.
And like I said, that's the mindset of the elect. The elect, they gonna have that mindset, like the scripture say, therefore it was your mind to go astray, seek him 10 times harder. The mindset, the elect gonna have that mindset, man, receiving his grace, been receiving his opportunity to come back to the obedience of the scriptures. You see, because when you read it in Romans, when you read in Romans like 3, 4, and 5, what is Paul exercise? He's exercising the fact that we don't got it in his flesh. Here it is. Paul was a master of the law. He was coached up, and he realized, like, damn, man, we don't got it. We in this flesh, we're gonna come up short, but through Yahweh Shai, when you read that in Romans 2, we see that righteous. Now we gotta have our faith upon Yahweh Shai. But that's gonna come along with action. You know, and Titus want to tell you how they say they know the Lord with their words, but in their actions they deny him. So the Lord is all about how you act. Or is your faith upon him? Because when the Lord comes to bring that judgment, when Revelation 3 happens, 3 and 10, it speaks about the hour of temptation, that's gonna show you where is your house really built upon. That's gonna really show you, like, okay, well, yeah, exactly. Kind of like the part what you really about. It's gonna really show, okay, did you really believe upon me? Yeah, you probably was out there. Oh, you probably was on the other side listening. But when I put you in this situation now, did you really have your faith upon me, or just upon carnal things? Oh, snap! And I didn't know. But see, I'm kind of hungry. The Lord speak. He got Romans 15 and 5. The Lord tell you all time throughout the scriptures, he done came through for his elect, man. Sirach 2. I mean, 10, yeah, Sirach 2 goes into that. So Lord tells you he's going to come through, but it also in those situations, he always shows you that way. He tries their faith, right? He puts them in a position where there's no way out. It's going to show, okay, do I really believe upon the words of this king? Yeah, how much my shot do I believe upon my own choice, my carnal strength? You see?
Yeah, and when the Lord was dealing with Paul, he had knocked him off his high horse, you know, in the beginning of his ministry, in the beginning of his calling. And I assume a lot of brothers have had that thing too. You didn't have an understanding where to go. The Lord had to blind Paul or Saul at the time and completely knock him off his high horse so that he can actually be able to change his mind. You know, because his baseline was that he was persecuting the church. You know, so knowing that he was wrong is something we got to know that we was wrong and our walk as well, and keep that in remembrance. But here's verse 2. It says, "But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness,
Right.
nor handling the word of the Most High deceitfully."
Renounce me basically to give up.
Right.
Right. So coming to this ministry, you give up, you know what I'm saying, certain ambitions that you had in order to follow him, and you don't mix your opinion with this doctrine. And this is what a lot of these teachers are doing, man. As Brother Benai was saying, saying, it's about your community. And really that's just a pitch for people to gather other Israelites together to make money.
Yeah.
And they use certain niches or unique niches. Thank you. To advertise or to influence people to believe them. Like IUIC used the whole middle class, decent Israelite, caricature.
Yeah.
Then you got Genesis and Sakari kept they walk into the urban street Hebrew Israelite,
The hood,
Jake, right? Along with ISUBK, the old school thugs.
Yeah, the old school. Jake that been in jail. Got out of jail.
Old school went to jail.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with the wristbands.
Right. Yeah, and anime.
Yeah.
Anime nigga.
Anime niggas.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z, the Dragon Ball Z enthusiasts.
Yeah. And it's everybody's tailoring to fit this mold to where people transitioning out of the world could still have those same old attachments. No, you got to become a new creature.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not what's being pushed. Hey, put that shit off, nigga. Mold yourself to the Lord's standard. That's not a thing.
Right. But you got these guys, like the brother beautifully brought out, you had these guys that are using all these various niches or demons, really,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, to lure people in so they can benefit off of them monetarily speaking. And if you got Yahweh Shai, you gotta know Yahweh Shai is coming to destroy this place, bro. Real soon. You have to believe that. All your eggs have to be in him coming back. Now, can you have a good job or have a good cool? But that's not the end all to be all. We're supposed to be his pilgrims on the earth. Right. You're not supposed to when we come together, we're not talking about business schemes. We're not talking about contracts we can get. We're not talking about those things. We're coming together and we're talking about Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
We're not talking about ourselves. We're not talking about the clique that we used to claim.
Right.
Right? We're talking about Yahweh Shai. And a lot of people, they bring in these various, talking points, to lure people into death, man. A lot of people are going to be destroyed because that's really a way of the image of the beast.
Category.
Right. Go ahead, speak on it, bro.
Yeah, that's that category. Like you really coming in the spirit of Esau's category, of having that foundation of, I can appeal to this niche and kind of use that as an avenue to destroy, man. And it's done deceitfully because now you taking things out of the truth to appeal to a certain audience, which is hey, that's what Esau did to our people, man.
Right, beautifully said. What the brother's saying is all these various niche markets and personas that Jake is trying to bring into the truth was allowed for them to have or was made by Esau Edom.
Yeah.
The whole concept of black was made by your enemy. And the various phenotypes of being black, right? Or genres of being black, the middle class black thug, the institutionalized, all that comes from Esau. We're not in any of those things. So we're Hebrew Israelites. We should be getting ourselves ready for Yahweh Shai time.
See it.
Yeah.
You gotta put off black culture.
Right.
Okay? That's really what the elders going into. Jake want to cling on to black culture and still be Israelite. No, black culture is what the white man created. Black culture is a death culture. Nothing from it is going to lead you to the eternal life that the Lord has promised. You got it, bro.
I have a real quick slide.
Yeah,
let me go. Okay, you got it.
Okay.
2 Corinthians 4:2. But have pronounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of the Most High deceitfully, but by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of the Most High. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to those who are lost, and whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them.
That's right. So the gospel is hidden to these people who hold this gospel deceitfully. Okay? Right? And it's shown again by what the brother Bernard brought up, the action from. Can make this thing the new black cow movement. Right. You got IUIC doing a black cow march. That's a slap in the face to the northern tribe, man. Because you're making this truth a so-called black thing. Right. It's not about color. It's about Hebrew Israelites, man, coming together. Right? The elect, let me refine that. The elect of the Hebrew Israelites coming together, which are going to be different shades of people. You have Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, and also foreign Israelites, people that might look like different nations, but are in fact Israelites. Okay?
And scriptures goes into how the Lord's gonna bring pretty much Judah and Ephraim into one stick. Right? So it's not like the elder said, man, it's not just a black Hebrew Israelite thing. Me personally, I don't know about y'all, but that kind of annoys me a lot when I just hear black Hebrew Israelite because it's not just it's not just blacks. Right? You got the Northern Kingdom, you got Issachar, I'm Northern Kingdom. I'm just a darker skin tone. I would look like a so-called black man, but I'm from the tribe of Reuben. Yeah. And that's the Northern Kingdom.
And so yeah, you're right, Slacky. I gotta throw this in there. And we don't like black because it's a term that Esau gave us. This nigga start calling himself white in the 1600s. That's new. You're not. There's nothing pure about that man.
Yeah, exactly.
Just that you got it.
God, just further on your point. Esau knew what he was doing when he gave us these terms, right? Black. That's why when you hear black, it's just always something negative. Right. It's always something. I never heard anything good about black, and that's referred with us. So when you're like, man, look at that black guy over there, or black Hebrew Israelites, it just sounds like some bad shit.
It's a clean way to call you a nigga.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is. It's just it's a clean way to call you a nigga, bro.
It's right up there with the.
Yeah, it's up there.
Because of a certain vibration.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like an evil, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
an evil like vibration. Because you think about that,
Yeah.
like the priest mentioned, you think about black, you see something black, it's black
cat, a black cat, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Bad look black.
Bad omen.
You watch movies, ain't no fucking white person. First got all white, and he goes to scary. They always in a dark topic.
So we calling ourselves, hey, we when they say, hey, we say we Israelites, right? Yeah. We're princes of God. We're princes of the power. You put that black in front of it, it's like we're the evil prince. No, nigga, no. It can't be both. Yeah. You gotta pick one. Ugh. Stop that. Stop calling yourself black. You know what I mean? Put other on your job application. I'm joking.
I got a precept real quick. It says Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. It says, then say Yahweh Shai unto the disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his own cross and follow me. And that's what you see that these other kings haven't did for you. They haven't really denied themselves. They did what they came to this understanding. And because when you come to this understanding, you get that honey. You find out, dang, but I'm not just a nigga. I'm a son of God. But they take that and what? Try to afford their own will now. Okay, I'm a son of God and you a son of God, bro. We got to get our people right. So they start diverting from what the Lord wants to be done on earth. The Lord's not calling the whole nation. He's only calling the elect of the nation. So you start to try to forge your own will. That's you not really denying yourself. When you come to serve your house, Shai, you got to humble yourself as a little child. What does it mean to humble yourself as a little child? It means to learn everything that you learn pretty much. When we think about a child is impressionable. You see, they don't come to you, oh, I know this, I know that. They come to you trying to learn. Figure out they pick up on certain things you do. But you coming in the mindset, oh, I'm not going to relearn this. I'm going to take that and merge it together. Now I got this mega doctrine. It's different, He talking about what the so-called white man. He a ginger. He got red hair. He this, man. He a black guy with red hair. You got these all crazy ass doctrines coming out now. Because they trying to merge their will with the doctrine, and that's not what the Lord has set up.
The Lord, look, this has nothing to do with complexion. Okay, this is a starter point because the bulk of Israel, don't get it twisted, they're going to look like these people. But the spirit that the Lord puts in a man, that's ultimately what determines, okay, if he's Israelite or not. That determines if he goes back to this seed line. and we're gonna look like all the people scattered all up because we've been scattered. We went in Acts 6, where it talked about the people that was accusing Stephen. They were from all these different parts of the world. They were still Israelites, but I'm sure a lot of them look a little funny. And then, you know what I mean? You got it.
I got that word with the nine, bro. It's a strong G 533 upon Nehemiah. It says to deny, to affirm that one has no acquaintance or connection with someone, to forget oneself.
To forget oneself. You know what I'm saying? Be not acquainted with that old preacher. And not to say when you come to the Lord, you become a new creature. So you're not supposed to be acquainted with that old type of way of thinking. When you came out of the world, that's what the scripture's going to. Being separate from the world, that's when you come out of a certain mannerism that's not similar to the world no more. You come in the mannerism and the spirit of Yahweh shot. That's what happened when you go into being baptized, submerging in these scriptures. You become a new creature. That's how you know the Lord is actually dealing with you. You start becoming a new creature. You stop eating pork. You stop getting in line. You stop doing particular things because you know those things offend the Lord. Because you're trying to better yourself and kiss the Son, at least you be angry. But what you niggas do is y'all don't do that. Y'all, okay, I'm gonna keep getting liners and I'm gonna say I'm an Israelite. Because Jake let it hear that they're Israelite because they know what comes with being Israelite. You're a son of God.
Yeah.
Special. Exactly. You're special. For the whole time Jake been beat down, you ain't special, nigga. You come from slavery. You come and tell a Jake, bro, you Israelite, you a son of God. They gonna blow shit. They gonna be excited because that's what Jake be seeking for with these other religions.
But they're not enthusiastic about the standard that comes along with the Son of God.
Exactly.
And they're not concerned with the kingdom of heaven.
Exactly.
That's what you want to say is to lose sight of oneself and one's own interests. I'm gonna go deeper to the root. It says, or Nehemiah. It says, to deny oneself. I'm gonna get straight to it. To act entirely unlike himself.
To act entirely unlike himself. A lot of times, if you have family, but they should be like, "Dang, you a new person."
You don't come around no more.
Exactly. You don't come around no more. You look different. You don't get hurt. You don't get paid no more. I fade you up. You know. See, you should be used.
Yeah, I got a ball, bro. Yeah.
Exactly. I had my uncle asking, but they notice like it's something different about you. Like you're not the same. You're not acting. You don't like particular things. You're not into particular things that you was in when you was in the world.
You don't want to be a part of certain conversations.
Exactly.
Right. I was gonna say, man, because the elder Mike Allah had mentioned that point, man. Our conversations, even when we not on camera, we amongst each other.
Yep.
Is about Yahweh Shah. That's all we want to talk about. Is Yahweh Shah. You see. That's why, hey, shit, some brothers are more better than it, but me personally, I can't hold conversations with niggas in the world long, because I'm gonna want to start talking about what's the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to constantly dumb yourself down.
It's like,
and it kind of affects your spirit when you're around Jake like that, because you feel like you're in a kind of like a stupefied state. Yeah. You're constantly talking about dumb shit.
got to put a mask on.
Right. Even around like when you first wake up, even before you pray, you know what I'm saying? You first wake up, you're on fire. That's how you want to talk about is the Lord.
Yeah.
Family, you talk about the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That don't stop, but you just learn how to control. You know who to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're around people of the world. All right, yeah.
I got to be Clark King.
For me to reveal what I believe and you know what I'm saying, what I've been to.
Yeah.
In front of these people. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's why we call them. That's why brothers hit each other up all the time. Hey man, what you doing? Then you start talking about the Lord.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I gotta say this big story. I was with some family one time, and I'm sipping on some drink. I said, "Man, I'm ready for the Lord to come back." They look at me and say, "Hold your liquor." I wasn't messed up for that.
Hey.
Like you said, I thought I'm being peaky. I just.
I'm ready for the Lord to go ahead.
You go to church every week.
Yeah.
What's the same thing? She's like, you can hold your liquor.
The Lord put the spirit on her to tell you, don't talk about that around them, though.
I believe that shit.
Yeah, he was like, hey.
Hey, but that's why Yahweh Shai, he couldn't hang around the multitudes. Every time a large crowd got next to him, every time
That's hilarious.
The profane was around him, he removed himself. Every time a lot of people, the commoners, man, he was with his men. Of course he had the accounts where he was with those who were profane, but they still believed.
Yeah.
And he healed them and showed them miracles just for prophecy's sake. But for the most part, man, he was a recluse. It's the same with the men of the Lord, man. It comes a time where your path it goes a separate way from the people in the world, and that's just the time we in.
Yeah.
What company have righteousness with unrighteousness?
Yeah.
Look, bro, they got a saying even in the world. Show me who your friends are, and I'll show you who you are.
Yeah.
I'm not friends with none of these motherfucking people in the world. I gotta work with them. Might have to take my son to his little events. I gotta see him, but nigga, we not friends. We not cool.
Niggas want to take you. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, you want to go to Wolves, man? Come on, bro.
No,
Nah.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah,
They got their fucking habits
It's
on.
supposed to be a separation once you come into this truth, man. You don't supposed to, you're not supposed to think like a nigga in the world no more. You don't even supposed to act like a nigga in the world, man. But you got a lot of Israelite camps still trying to bring that gangster mentality into the truth, and that shit don't work, bro. You ain't denying yourself, bro. Right? You know?
I'm old for this.
I got a precept from the comic board. This James.4. It says, "Love the world. The love of the world is enmity with the How about Shimi Awashah."
Y'all see so. Speak on it. Go ahead. Read that again, Baba Rishai.
James.4 says, "The love of the world is." Let me actually go get it.
How about that?
Okay, you got it. Can we? Yeah. Read the whole thing. They ain't put the whole precept.
Yeah. See, when you read the scriptures, just think about Job. He is true people. That's he is true people. He means like the Lord. That's the mindset you should be in when you come to serve. Yeah, how was probably shy. You shouldn't want to really be around these niggas like that. It's not like a priest, like priest function, man. You see, like, there's all different. You talk about we see kingdom of come. You want to talk about spiritual power, Lord return. I want to have a Lord. Look, you see, I want to have be. That's what you talking about Jay. He wasn't talking about bitch. You see the game. You see the game last night. We don't really care about those things like that, nigga. Those things gonna pass away. Those things are not about eternity. Those things are temporary. That's what Esau said, man.
Yeah. I met this new girl.
Exactly.
She got a man, but he don't. No, I don't want to talk to you.
Exactly. That's the most stuff Jay go to you about some wicked ass shit, man. Some adultery, man. She got fit out. Come, we'll go talk to. She got a man like, girl, I don't want to hear that shit, man. Right.
Hey, this truth makes us high level.
Yeah.
To where you can, I bet you brothers experienced it before. You don't talk to the heathen and have more of an edifying conversation than Jake.
Man,
Because you could talk to them about AI.
Yeah.
Right. You could talk to them about certain events.
Yeah.
Because they're on it.
Yeah. They're not under the spell so much like Jake is.
Yeah. Right. Jake's still trying to relive the 90s, man.
Right.
No?
Hey, and we keep that mindset of let no man take that crown.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta just. I mean, we have. I'm gonna speak for myself. Like 25 years, 23 years outside of the truth. Coming in the truth, like you got triggers that could just make you want to just, like kind of be back in that world, trying to one foot in, one foot out. But at a certain point in time, I mean, we put that man to death, but you can't go back touching that body because you'll end up defiling yourself.
Yeah.
Don't
touch that dead body.
Yeah, you gotta remove yourself. So that means removing yourself from conversations, mindset, the ways, the surroundings,
Yeah, environment.
Talking the blunt next to you. Now you got the urge to want to smoke.
Yeah, that demon popped
stuff,
up.
man.
Or nigga pass to, oh, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I forgot.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only time the niggas get together. You know what I'm saying? You go over there and see your family and shit. You know what I'm saying? You out there chopping it up with your cousins, niggas smoking, them niggas talk past you. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Like, bitch ass nigga, you know I don't smoke.
They don't respect you.
They cook your pork right.
They cook your pork and
My bad.
I forgot. Just trying to see.
Yeah.
That's that movie How High when he was like pure pressure.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, no, stop.
Right.
They're gonna test you.
Because Jake is to supplant. Jake will try to do that unrighteously too. You gotta remember that. Jake will try to unrighteously supplant because a lot of people want to see you fall. Like you trying to better think like Bernard always say. You come around your family, they're like, oh, look at this nigga. He want to be all better.
He think he.
They loved you when you was a nigga though.
Yeah.
I watched a nigga Mike Epps. That nigga was like,
Oh yeah.
Talk about how he was, he was on one point of time in his career, he was on cocaine and all that shit. But he said he was shooting all about the business. He said he was depressed and shit, and he went into high school trailer, and high school was like, man, nigga, stop crying, nigga, pull your nigga, you a king. He said he felt bad because he left all his homies, and you know what I'm saying, they was mad at him. You know what I'm saying? He said, but when he was a cokehead and on drugs, they loved him. But when he started to better himself, that's when niggas started to hate him. You think you better than us. Right. I mean, that's the mentality of our people, though, man.
Yeah. They won't love you unless you in a self-destructive state.
Ain't that like not gonna say ain't there like a I don't know what it's called. It's like a crabs in a bowl.
Crabs in the bucket. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the mindset Jake be having, man. If you watch the video, as soon as the crab almost out, they all gang up to take him out. That's literally the mindset of Jake, man. They all gang up to take you out. Whoever that, they do the same thing, man. It's a destructive mindset.
That was the same. We just seen an example of that nigga that came up here.
Yeah.
You know, like crab in the barrel mentality. You know, like, oh, who can judge me? You know, y'all niggas ain't got it. You know, okay.
Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah.
That's the same. We read it in Acts 7. When Stephen mentioned Moses, they was like, "Who is this man to rule over us?" Jake being that spirit, bro. They can't fathom that somebody that looks like them has a connection with the Most High.
Yeah. Like, all right. Well, going back to what you was saying earlier. That's why it's getting more real and real every day. While we can see why these niggas gonna really start to kill us.
They gonna want to.
They really about to start trying to take us out, man.
Yeah.
You know, so like trying to break shit down to your coworker about, oh, you an Israelite and shit, man. That's about to be very deleterious mindset to be in.
Let me tell you something. That time up,
Yeah.
because we about to be made enemies of the state.
Yeah.
They gonna justify people that believe what we believe, getting them out the way. So don't be letting everybody know what you about, because them niggas gonna turn your ass in.
Yeah.
I'm talking about they gonna be they food gonna be scarce, shit gonna be going. They gonna be looking for any kind of way to have some sense of normalcy. And Esau gonna promise normalcy to people that are against us. You know? Don't do that shit. Keep your mouth shut at work. Our arena in which to teach is the highways and hedges, and you make your lessons. The Lord ain't say we gotta go to the barber shop, at the lunch room, the break room. This where we speak at. Be 007 in the world, man.
Hey, because you're going to get that attention that you don't want.
That you don't want.
Do that. Yeah. You get that attention that you don't want. There's a lot of people that mess up their home situation, their work situation by doing too fucking much. Go ahead, guys.
So Rock 13 and 13 in the GNT, it says, keep your secrets to yourself and be very careful.
That's right.
For you are always walking on dangerous ground.
What you got going on? Even your person, what you got going on, bro? What you got going on, bro? And sometimes, you get to the point, you got to handle certain things for yourself. There's certain phase that you shouldn't tell no brother. Like, hey, I took fade last week. I ain't even going into specifics, but I got to handle it by myself as a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But even dealing with these people, man, don't tell these fucking people your business.
They don't deserve that.
You know what I'm saying? Don't tell these people your business, man. A lot of these people need somebody to hate, bro. Especially, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people need somebody to hate. Don't let that be you by being too buddy-buddy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you if Gary is, guy, that's something that got you in the world,
Yeah.
Like, so, man, somebody,
Yeah.
I gotta cut that shit off, bro.
He's speaking from experience for the people that's watching. So actually listen. This is a man of the Lord that's had to apply the knowledge, been through ups and downs. Listen, because I know it's a lot of new people watching, and they want to tell somebody what they know.
Nah, don't tell nobody.
Bro, listen.
What you talking about? What you trying to tell them is serious business.
Right.
First and foremost, understanding for yourself what you trying to convey, bro.
Right.
I get it. First, hey, it is a information grad to where you want to be a smart guy. I get it. I did the same thing at work. Looking crazy as hell.
Right. Look at man, like,
Oh, it's tripping.
Hey, tell me, man. Hey, you need sensitivity counseling. Because I said, man, no black man being fat, tripping. Tripping. This back in the way.
Oh man.
Tripping.
Hey,
Tripping.
wasn't wrong, but it's a time and place.
We were tripping. So we did all the tripping, bro. Trust me, man. We did all the tripping for y'all.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? Us and our kind of the peers and brothers that are called elders, trust me, we did all that so y'all don't have to.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? Trust me, it's not a good idea. You're gonna look crazy. That female that you was trying to get, you're gonna scare her ass off.
She just wants some. You ain't even gotta do all that to get her.
Yeah.
You like,
Your parents, they could have helped you with that car breakdown, but you acting like a jerk. Now you gotta ask your brothers, they getting tired of your ass.
right.
You should have just been quiet, man. Cool.
Just shut up. Just keep mouth closed sometimes.
It's just like a mother.
Man,
Yeah.
talking about burning the bridge, I'm trying to tell you, brother. I got you, Doc.
Proverbs 13:13 in the GNT. If you refuse good advice, you are asking for trouble.
That's right. So a lot of people out there, even with me saying is they feel like they got a purpose to spread the gospel at the barbershop. So go ahead.
You gonna see.
Go ahead. It's not gonna end very well for you.
Right.
Shit, IUIC went in the barbershops a couple years ago.
Right.
With the cameras. How'd that go?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? How'd that go?
Bro.
Now them niggas definitely ain't getting no haircut there.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says, follow it and you are safe.
Yeah, follow it, you say, because we're coming in times where it's not gonna be cool to be a Hebrew Israelite like that. You gonna have to understand what you're into for yourself. Really have that relationship with Yahweh Shah for yourself. Not for anybody else, not to show or prove to anybody else that you can be. You have to believe for yourself. Work out your own fear with work out your own fear. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That's the times that we're coming into. We're coming into some dire times, right? It's going to be very difficult for people to feed themselves out here. People are going to be angry. Right. People are going to be disenchanted. People are losing jobs left and right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Along with certain ideologies clashing. You got the left versus the right, right? Within that, even within the Christian sphere, you got them going against one another. And we're in that too. Right? So certain ideologies, extreme ideologies are going to increase as resources become scarce. Something that you've always seen. People are going to be wanting an answer from God. Right? And a lot of people are going to turn to Christian nationalism. They can believe in what Esau says is right about the Bible. They're going to be willing to come against you. Okay? So let your actions speak what you believe in, bro. If you don't believe in Christmas, don't go over there. If you don't believe in Thanksgiving, don't go over there. Right? You don't believe in celebrating your birthday, don't go over there.
Yeah.
You have to make it the individual choice for yourself. You don't have to tell them that you just show them. Like, I don't celebrate that. Okay? Stand on what you believe for yourself.
This Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 19 in the GNT. It says, help your relatives and they will protect you like a strong city wall.
That's right. So, in that, I'm sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
All right, go. It's Proverbs 18 and 19 in the GNT. Help your relatives and they will protect you like a strong city wall. But if you quarrel with them, they will close their doors to you.
Hey, so this is time where you separate, but the most I can have to where that relationship is amended within the strengths of this truth. To where y'all have a good relationship with one another.
Right.
To where that individual want to help you out.
Right.
And he knows, okay, he don't do certain things. That's, but, that's our son, brother, whatever. I still love him. I'm going to help him out. Because your conduct is exemplifying scriptures, exemplifying wisdom.
Right.
The scriptures say when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Right.
There it is. Exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. That's right. Now, balance to that is, yes, a man's foe will be in his household, ideologically speaking, right? Or ideally speaking, what I'm saying? They don't believe in what we believe. When I said it's done, what I'm saying? But you should if you got this wisdom, you should be able to lean in, right?
You should be able to walk in any room and deal spiritually with any group of people with this knowledge.
And being quiet helps a lot.
Speak, young man, if there be any need of thee, yet scarcely when thou art twice asked.
Right.
It's Wisdom of Solomon 4:9 in the GNT. Wisdom and righteousness are signs of maturity that should come with old age.
That's right. Wisdom and righteousness come with maturity. You have to go through a couple of things and figure out what not to do. Which is fine. Now, if you're a brother that's doing that, there's always, time to, amend your ways and just, quiet down and really understand this walk for yourself. Right? Understand what you're in for yourself, not, trying to prove it. into anybody else in the world. You know,
If I can make a quick point, just simply taking heed unto what the apostles as well as what the elders say, keep you out of a lot of trouble, right? Because the apostles always say, especially to us, younger brothers, we ain't got the time that they had. So for us to be messing up in certain things that we really shouldn't be messing up in because they warned us about it, and then the brother he just brought out the precept on it, right? It's really just foolishness, right? Because we've been given this wisdom, this knowledge and understanding to use it, right? And you like the precept of the elders going into, right? That as far as the job situation, man, just moving in wisdom at your job, moving in wisdom with your family, right? You ain't got to destroy the bridges because you believe, eat pork. Now you be like, man, I don't. Me personally, for people that don't know, I'll be like, man, I just don't like pork like that, man. It's just and the Lord puts it on somebody else to say something. Because that actually happened to me at work. My pocket. Little testimony, man. At work, man, they had like a little pizza party, when they buy
Them pizza parties.
they buy with pepperoni. So I'm sitting there like, I ain't gonna eat that. And then they're like, damn, bro, what's wrong with you? I was like, I don't really like pork like that. She's like, damn, bro, you Muslim? I was like, nah.
That's that go-to.
I was like, nah. Then there was another day. You were like, nah, bro. In the Bible, it says don't eat pork. I was like, that's a lot. Hey, pork will fuck you up, right? See, hey, man. Like, nah, I'm trying to tell them, bro. Oh, hey, calm
He ain't,
down, bro.
he ain't even say that.
say that. You know what I'm
He's
saying,
just
bro?
like some Christian too. So I'm like, Lord will make a way for you, man.
Yeah,
You
man.
ain't gotta say shit. He'll put it on somebody.
And he was a Christian guy.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's a Christian guy.
The Lord be working it still out, man.
It's 9:18.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but whatever.
Yeah, usually we throw about 9 and 9:15, If you got one more, you got closing one.
I just gotta figure
That buzzer beater.
If I can say something real quick, even David played, that's
He did.
Yeah, David played dumb in front of his adversaries, and he was able to get up out of a situation.
Yeah.
So
You don't feel like no bitch because you had to.
Yeah, that one of he was a tough guy.
Yeah.
Like King David, were you looking for me? What's up?
Yeah.
We were reading about King David.
Oh, King Solomon, yeah.
He was like went crazy, bro.
Yeah, right.
Hey, because he was on the run. But hey, that was smart.
Right.
It was smart, bro.
You in somebody else's neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
somebody pressure you.
Ain't that?
Guess what? I got a white voice.
I don't know what's going on. I just came
I'm actually lost because you point me to, you know what I mean?
Right? And I just keep a clipboard just in case I make a point.
I'm looking for it.
Tuck my shirt in. Like, what you doing here, cuz?
Had that worker's vest on.
No, I'm playing, but it's like,
Understand the point they're making.
yeah.
Sometimes you got your wisdom.
Hey, man, let people have it, bro.
Yeah.
You ain't always got to be, you ain't always got to be the guy that breaks something down or, the brave guy, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
The intellectual brave guy. Right?
Yeah.
Just go to work and come home because these jobs going to get very scarce out there.
Yeah.
You have to understand that, like, really, really understand that the jobs are getting scarce. Food is about to get scarce. Resources are about to get scarce. You're going to see the effects of these tariffs in the next few weeks,
Right.
in a week or two.
Yeah.
Things are going to become height in the near future. So it's more than ever be circumspect. And again, it's not going to be cool to have fringes on things that nature. I see more and more people starting to press people who call themselves Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Another example I want to make up, when Joshua them spied out the land, they weren't telling everybody who they was. Right? Right now, we're still spying out the land. Again, our arenas in which to teach is the highways and hedges, and you make your lessons.
Right.
That's the arena that the Lord gave us to bring out the word.
Yeah. They probably had to switch clothes. We had to,
Yeah, they had to blend in, bro.
The friends with the border, they probably had to switch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because after the shit happened with the Egypt,
Yeah.
so everybody know who the Israelites were.
Yeah.
So they had to go in there. You spying, bro. Spying gonna go in there with that
Yeah.
fucking bad dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the time came where they got to get on people's ass, but they know when and when not to. That's all we saying.
Time for everything. Like it says, it's gas. You gotta, as timing is everything. Like the elder already knows, like to say, your timing is correct, man. You're powerful. You know, that's how people get knocked out. One by not necessarily by power, but by timing. Your time is correct, and you're able to hit somebody when they're not seeing it, knocking that person out.
Out of there.
Or you playing basketball and you cross somebody over that one cut and that one post up. It's all about time.
Yeah.
If you rush that
Change the speed.
stuff,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen? So if you been practicing, you know your timing.
Yep.
He on the ground looking crazy.
Yep.
You know, timing is everything, bro. It's time to speak or not to you. At your job, bro. Get your money and come home.
Take your ass to the crib,
None of
nigga.
that personal shit. These niggas want to get personal so they can take you down.
Well, when I first got to Dallas, man, Elder, I was talking about something at my job. It was pissing me off. And Elder Arala said, man, you care too much. And he just walked off. I was like, damn, I thought about it. I said, damn, why do I care about what these people got going? Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and you know, and then
Stop.
and these cats from Texas, they know how to make you get comfortable, make you get talking to you. They want you to think that they give a fuck, so you can slip up, so they can take you.
Take your spot. Try to trick you out your spot, yeah.
Oh yeah, it happened to me before, bro.
Yeah, man.
What,
Don't care too much about these people.
Wouldn't be savvy, and let this nigga get me emotional. And he got my ass better. That's exactly what he wants.
Right.
Some people are envious of your life that you have.
That's right.
Damn.
I but this is because the priest had mentioned David. It's crazy. That's what I had. This is 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 14. It says, and David behaved himself wisely in all his ways, and the Lord was with him. So straight to the point. You know, like the priest is going to, he gave the example of David. You know, the house of David had a mindset of behaving wisely. With us using that wisdom, what? The Lord is going to be with the house of David.
Right.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Right. Hebrew. These Hebrew.
It's time to go.
He said, "One give all praise to our heavenly Father. His name is
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash.
the apostle elders that well. Peace, many citation, y'all to it. Shalom.
Shalom.
On.
You know you're Israelite?
Man, you better know it. Right. A Hebrew.
Yeah.
Israelite. Of the tribe of Judah.
You walking in it?
Man, you know. To the best of my ability.
Hey, God bless you, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all rising.
Yeah, I'm about to get it back.
Yeah, I can dig it, man.
All right, bro.
So, man, bless, I'm blessed, man. Bomb.
Shalom,
Bro, this ain't even on right now. I just gotta close it up.
I was ready. I saw y'all when I walked past, right? Came by every time I see y'all. So now, y'all part of a camp. What camp y'all?
Great Millstone.
So, you know, I read the other thing, Christ. I read you. Okay, you know, so you know, anytime I see brothers out doing what they going to be doing, you know, I'm gonna stop and fellowship with them for a bit.
Friday, 7:30 Friday. 7:30 Friday.
Well, you know, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, man.
They out there too.
Yeah. So they all over the country. You know what I'm saying? We everywhere, baby.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Okay, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, shalom, bro.
I wish I had some time with y'all, man.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it when I left for this show. I just saw how to be.
Okay, bro.
Man.
God got me on a mission, man. You know what I'm saying? There was no time. You know what I'm saying? There was no time.
Oh, man.
Man,
I'm gonna do it. I want to.
man, he got me on a mission, man. You know,
Oh, this one.
and he walked this thing, man. I just saw my
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I just got to tell, man. I ain't no big or no bomb or none of this. You know, I got everything.
Fuck it, I'll fix it in the
I
car.
know I'm looking kind of rough.
We
Right
can cross, y'all. No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, my face ain't nigga. There you go. There you go, brother. Yeah, stay up, man.
Stay up, man.
So, yo.
I said, yeah, I seen him walk up. I seen him looking at us. I said, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got this metal case. This is good. But